This is Fever Dreams Podcast, Season 3, Episode 4, or Episode 17 in total. And we are recording this live on the 27th of May in 2022. And we have, I'm your host, Corb78. My co-host is Lifesaver74. And we have a special guest here. And it's an honor to say it. The burp has landed. Hello and welcome. HeyFalcon.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hey, Corbin. Hey, Lifesaver. Hey, everybody. It's great to be here. Glad we can finally get together and do this.
I'm very happy to be able to have you as a guest here. I tried for a while. I remember that I asked you like a year ago or so, and that didn't work out. But things changed a lot.
Yes, a lot has changed, and I can't wait to talk about it. I'm sure
we are going
to be able to fit it in the next 3 hours.
Okay, I didn't expect that you have that much time, but okay, we can do this. We can extend the session today if you want to. Normally we start this a little bit with what we've been playing recently to get a recap of our activities, and as we are all streamers mostly, except it has changed recently. We are playing games, and we are playing them on stream. So, Live, what have you been playing recently? Or what have you done on stream recently? Because you changed your priorities a little bit from game streaming to chatting and showing us the new stuff. So, what has been happening?
I do a little bit of both now. Currently, I'm doing still playing Synth Riders, Beat Saber on stream. And then, of course, the other time I sit down and look at new StreamerBot things or ways to improve your stream using StreamerBot, or just sit there and look at the camera in dirt for 2 hours. It's really anybody's guess of what you're going to get. Outside of streams, though, I've been replaying some old story-based games, and I recently picked up Detroit Become Human for the first time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
Well, honestly, I'm not going to lie. It's looking like it's going to be a really killer game, but I can't seem to get it to read my PS4 buttons on screen, and I'm not able to look at press A on an Xbox controller and then press the square on.
Oh, it's so confusing.
My brain can't do that. Yeah, my brain can't do that. So, and no matter what I've tried, I can't get the PS4 things to show. All the videos on the internet, buttons to show, all the videos tell you how to do it, but it's just not working for me. So I'm just waiting for a Xbox wireless dongle to get here, and I'll just use my Xbox controller. If you can't beat them, join them, right? That's pretty much it.
I get that. This is so confusing. So we have the Xbox controller, we have the Nintendo controller, and we have the PlayStation controller. And then when they tell you press X, which position is that? They all have an X on different positions.
This is valid point.
It is so confusing.
Yeah, it confuses my partner, confuses the kids so much. Going from, and I'm like, press X, and they're like, where's A? where are the letters? Because they spend so much of their time playing on the Switch, but in this household, it's all, I don't know. I think you would have seen some of them. It's like 1, 2, 3 is on the way somewhere, 4 and 5 is hiding there with. Actually, I just realized don't look at what's next to the PlayStation. It's a PlayStation.
What is that? Is that a Predator? No.
No, it's Master Chief.
Master Chief. Right on.
Okay. Nice. But that's not available on the PlayStation, is it?
No.
Doesn't matter. We all like merch and stuff. I mean, I have an alien figure here standing next to me. So we all like those figurines.
I've got to say, the only reason I ever went Xbox, that was Xbox, the original thing, was because of the Halo series. I bought the consoles just to play Halo series. I can't say any other game where I've actually spent so much time playing on the Xbox.
That's how it works, right? They have one awesome title to get the console.
But isn't it now, though, there isn't any truly Xbox-only titles anymore. They're now all Xbox PC titles, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I haven't been out of the game for a while, but I believe so.
Yeah, so my personal opinion is, why buy an Xbox if you got a PC? Just if you're going to spend money on a console, buy a PlayStation 4, because now you can play all games. You can play Xbox games and you can play PS4 games.
It's the experience.
I absolutely agree. If you can get yourself the new Xbox console and you're not a PC person, brilliant. But if you already have a PC and you can play games, you just get the Game Pass. Like it's pretty amazing. Although the PlayStation 1 is coming in a week. PlayStation Plus is coming.
What is coming in a week? Wait, what is this? I haven't heard this. And I understand why Corbin would have an Xbox, because he's a Linux user. But anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say? What's this plus stuff?
Yeah, so the PlayStation Plus has been upgraded. That's still the same. You will still get the same things. And then you have the premium, or there's one before it. There's like 3 tiers. The one that is now, and then you get more games, and you can play PlayStation 3 ports on the PlayStation 5. And then the top tier, which is I think about $25. It sounds like a lot, but what you get is ability to play down to PSP, PS1, PS2, 3 games. I'm sure it's going to be like a select ports, of course, but they're talking 400 plus. They're talking like 400 plus games you have access to. So it's like a competitor to the Game Pass that is starting. I believe it is starting next month. This must be the last month, and then next month it'll start. Although I do mix June and July a lot. So don't quote me on exactly when, but I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain that it's next week.
Gotcha.
When the next, yeah. It's pretty exciting.
Before we go into Corbin here, I was curious. Is anybody else looking at getting, or any of y'all looking at getting the new PSVR for the PlayStation? I don't think Corbin has a PlayStation, do you?
My sister has a PlayStation, and we got the old PSVR for that one, which is a PS4 Pro she has. But we also played Beat Saber on it. And the PSVR exclusive titles with the little guys they have for PlayStation. I don't know what their names. Where you have this one VR game where you are one of those giant monsters crawling through the city and the others are running away. That was pretty cool.
It is.
The other one... Yeah, go on.
Good. Okay, I was just going to say that. I had the PS. Right. I had the PSVR for a while, and then I let somebody else have it. Didn't have a PC, but I am interested in getting the PSVR 2. I think that some of the upgrades are going to be well worth the investment, and some of those PSVR only titles do look interesting. They're coming down the pike. So.
Yeah, I remember just the other game, which is pretty similar, where you are a cat behind a curtain, and the others are little mice and have to hide, and then you peek out of the curtain, and if you see one, you can grab them or so. They're pretty neat games. It's also in the same bundle.
Okay, I haven't played that one. But yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get off topic. But yeah, that was what I was doing on stream. What am I playing on stream and off stream? There you go. My apologies.
Right. So what about you, Falcon? What have you been playing recently? Doesn't have to be VR, it can be Pancake as well. Whatever you enjoyed playing.
For a long time, as you guys know, with the full-time streaming last year, up until September, it was all VR, anything VR. Of course, Synth Riders is still my go-to every time I jump in, every weekend, 2 to 4 hours, depending on the sessions I jump into. But working so much in VR, I've actually been spending and considering I was able to win the lottery and buy a PS5. As I've been playing a lot of FIFA 2022. I've been I don't know what the right word is, but it's like I get so stressed playing it, but I like it.
It's thrilling.
It's like, it doesn't matter if I lose or win. It's like, it's so much fun. But I went and picked up a few other titles. Like we replayed Diablo 3 on the PlayStation because you can actually do it. Like it's on the same screen. It's not split screen. So that was a lot of fun. And I started,
cooperatively.
So
okay.
you're still the same team. It's just you can't leave the screen. Basically, teleports the other person to the other side of the screen if you're going different directions. It made it a different experience, and we finished it. It was a lot of fun. And knowing Horizon, the new one, is on the Forbidden West. It's on the PlayStation 5 as well. I picked up the first one, Zero Dawn, and I've been playing that quite a bit, trying to get through the story. Otherwise, I can't say I play anything else. I dabble a lot in WoW when I see new content. It's like it's how long has it been? 16 years since I've started. So it's like it finds a way to bring me back. But that's what I've been doing a lot. Unfortunately, I haven't been streaming, and if you have a look at my history, the last stream I did was on the weekend, and you can't see anything before that because it was such a long time ago. They got deleted. So
yeah.
So
nice.
Any other times I'll be. Oh, go on.
How is Diablo 3 on console? I know they have a port for the Nintendo Switch as well, but playing that with a controller. Because I think it was always a PC game, a clicker game, where people are getting this, the tennis arm. I think something similar you can have from clicking.
Yeah.
I mean, you could click and hold, but playing with a controller is very intuitive. It's everything's under your hands, ready to go. You can play it laying down. You can play it, standing up, sitting down, whatever your comfort position is, or if you're one of those people that start here and then end up on the floor by the next hour, it's that's what I just love about the console. You can just be anywhere in any position. Whereas I don't know about you guys, but when I sit down with mouse and keyboard, it has to be the right angle. It has to be in the right position, and then you start slouching and it's like, okay, 6 hours, let's fix that back.
Posture check as a redeemable.
There's something that's just amazing about like couch gaming. Seriously, it's irreplaceable. Although it is, you can do it on PC now. I mean,
That's what I wanted to say before when Live said, when you spend money on something or on a console, why spend it on an Xbox? I think that it's the experience of a console, because it's like, turn it on, be able to play a game. You don't have to tinker with anything. Everything is set up. It's one piece of hardware. It cannot break. You cannot mess it up. It is how it is, and that's it. But I have to say something about consoles and not messing up stuff. I had a nice experience just yesterday, but we are coming to that in a bit. So,
okay.
Then let me tell you what I've been playing. I finished Cyberpunk, and I started with Control now. Cyberpunk is an awesome game. It was even on PC pretty well playable before the patch 1.5, the big one that was released a few months ago. And I think there's another one upcoming, 1.6. There have been rumors. But I tell you, Cyberpunk is one of the best games I've ever played. The stories, the characters, of course, the world, the immersive world. I enjoyed this so much. I played this for over 130 hours or so. I did all the side missions. I didn't do the police events, the assaults. Those I left aside. But I did do all the side missions, all the gigs, and of course the main story and the endings. It does have several endings. And I did the ones that I had that are in the game. I didn't unlock one where I have chosen not the correct answers to unlock this. And one is exclusive to the other sex. So I played a male V, which is the main character in the game. And you will get a different ending, at least one or so, that is special to the female V, which of course then I didn't get either. But playing those endings has been awesome, and I can totally recommend playing Cyberpunk if you are into sci-fi worlds, cyberpunkish worlds, open world, and story-driven stuff. Then Cyberpunk is one of the best games I've ever played. It's so good.
Nice.
As that has been... finished. I started with Control now. Control is it related to the developer of Detroit Become Human?
Oh,
or are they
Control
different?
is a game.
Yeah, Control the game. Control Ultimate Edition.
Okay, when you said I finished Cyberpunk and now I'm playing Control, I thought you were saying you were replaying it on with a controller now instead of
No.
the game. I was going to tell you later how silly that is, but hey, each their own.
Yeah, no, I can't say anything bad about Control. That I played the whole thing, including the extras.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite flat games. Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit it's frigging dang hard. I have now had like 5 sessions, and on average I die 11 times per session. Last time I was able to lower that the first time to 3 deaths. But before, it has been so hard that it's like exponentially suddenly spiking, where the enemies are throwing rockets at you and you can't evade, and then you're dead. It's incredible.
When they start throwing stuff back. Yeah, I know.
Without throwing stuff back, I didn't have that ability yet. But other than that, it's a weird game, but it's cool. It's weird in the case of the level structure and stuff, and they don't show you the directions where you have to go. There are no, like in most other games, there is like, you have to go here. Here is the quest marker, here you have to do things. No, they tell you have to go into that area, and then you have to search on your own what you have to do exactly. So
it's basically linear, but it's not. It tells you where you need to be, but you can still do other things. It's I really loved it. I won't say anything.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. I'm not through.
Just push through and let me know when you get to the maze. I want to know what you think about the maze.
The ashtray maze? Is it that?
I'm not too sure. I think so. If you played that already.
I'm now at the part where I have to meet the janitor again. And before I was at that area, and there is like, I think it's called ashtray maze, where you go in one direction and then it closes in front of you, and you...
Yeah, and the music. Oh,
and just... I'm at that part right now. I haven't completed that yet. And it was a little bit confusing so far. Yeah, the game is pretty tough though. But I enjoy it. And of course I will finish it. That have been the Pancake games I played. I also played 2 new VR games, which have been like kind of included into the must-play VR Humble Bundle that was released a few weeks ago. And I played... There was a coupon included for After the Fall. So I started to play After the Fall with a mate cooperatively. It works on Linux. And it's like Left 4 Dead in VR, kind of. You have those levels you get through. It's a little bit like stationary in terms of the areas where you have to fight the enemies. So you get to a new location, and then there are waves of enemies coming. You take them down. There are boss fights and stuff, and you have to collect a certain currency. I can't remember what that was, but the more you get, the better upgrades you can afford later and stuff. So I started to play that. And in the beginning, I was like, because I'm a little bit sensitive to locomotion. And so when I played Half-Life Alyx, for example, which offers both, I was using teleportation and not locomotion, because locomotion always was causing me motion sickness. And one of the worst games where I got really, it hit me really hard was Boneworks. And since then, I was like convinced I cannot play locomotion. But that changed. So the first game where it started to change, that was GTFO, the mod for VR, where there was no teleport available. And there I was able to use locomotion, and it worked well. And now with After the Fall, where it's also both offered, you can do both. You can do teleportation or you can locomotion. I tried teleportation. And teleportation is bad. So I switched now to locomotion, and I didn't get motion sick. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. Now I did play the intro to After the Fall. but the anxiety. I can't do Left 4 Dead either. Zombies running at you. It's just like, no, I'll be the medic. You guys go ahead.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me ask you to clarify that. You don't like zombies running at you on a 2D? Or are you talking about in VR?
Both.
Okay. All right.
It's just the level, the heart rate that changes between the two, I think. In both games, I can close my eyes. So last time I played, I don't know if you remember, I played Outlast. Now that I can't do jump scares. Like even playing BioShock, I find it's like a little too much. It's not
really
just horror.
BioShock is so good though.
It doesn't have to be horror. I actually it's anything that's like highly thrilling and there's a lot of suspense. No, I'll do it, maybe for doing it on stream or maybe just for the experience. I can say, yeah, I've done it. But and also talking about BioShock, it's do we all know it's where to get it right now for?
Oh, it's for free on the Epic Games Store right now. You can get the complete BioShock series. Just this week, so if you're watching this later, it might probably be over already.
But I grabbed that, so I'm going to give it another go. But last time, I got really scared.
The good thing about that
story, actually,
the good thing about that bundle is you get all titles, all the BioShock titles. So I played a while ago the BioShock 1 and 2 remastered versions, and I think there are only the remastered versions available anymore. But I haven't played the third title yet. That's still on my list. And those are really good story-based shooters. They're mostly shooters, because that's what has been modern at that time of when that game has been released initially. And they have been one of those shooters with a really good story behind it. So I enjoyed playing that. I can recommend them. They are not that scary. It's more action focused. Of course, sometimes there's a shadow around the corner and stuff. But jump scares, there have been barely jump scares, to be honest. So you might enjoy it. I hope you do.
What was your story you were going to say?
No, I got kicked out of my classroom when I was in I can't remember what course it was. I was sitting at the back with my gaming laptop I had at the time, keeping an eye on things. I was playing FeVR, right?
Okay.
I threw my chair from getting up so fast from when, I don't know if anyone's played the game, in FeVR, the girl that's in it actually just pops up on your screen, just a huge jump scare. And I jumped off my seat, the chair went flying, and that was my funny story. There you go. Some might find that funny, then some might get mad at me for playing games in a classroom.
The only thing that I've ever got remotely close to similar as that is back in 2001. It was 2001. I was playing. I cannot remember if it was a game or a video. I'm pretty sure it was a game, and I was playing on a laptop. So it wasn't that heavy of a game, but because let's face it, laptops weren't that great back then. But anyway, spider jumped out just right at the camera. Whether it had been the actual camera, but a spider jumped towards the camera, and I can't remember if it was a 3D spider or if it was a honest to God video spider, but it scared the shit out of me so bad that I reached over and slammed the lid down on the laptop and just shattered the LCD. Just shattered it. Yeah, that's about the only thing I've ever done out of a jump scare. That's actually where I've ruined something. I've ruined things out of frustration before and anger, but that's the only time out of a jump scare.
Yeah, there was also a DLC included into that bundle. So the coupon code for After the Fall, you could apply that on the Humble store itself. And if you are even a Humble subscriber there with the monthly, or what's that called now, or choice, then you could even get an additional percent off. So I got it for a good price, and that's why I picked it up. But there was also something else included, and that was a DLC. And I was wondering why they're including a DLC, but not the base game. The base game is for free on Steam, and it's called Propagation VR.
Yeah.
And the DLC is the co-op add-on, so you can play it cooperatively. And I played that together with a friend. And I can tell you, zombies are not scary to me. I can handle zombies, but like Lifesaver, spiders are a no-go.
Yeah, I remember you fighting those spiders. Yeah.
And if you have seen or played Propagation VR, so there are things in VR,
but I haven't played it yet.
Oh gosh, I can tell you. You will die in that game. I mean, like literally, because it has both. It has spiders and zombies. Mm-hmm. So when the game starts, you are in a train underground, and you have the menu there, and then you join your co-op session, and your mate joins in. You see a backpack there, and then you click start to play the game. What happens then is that the door opens, and a zombie is crawling from the top and reaching out to you. Mm. And in VR, because it's a stationary game, you can't really walk in the game. You are standing at your play space. You can move in your play space, but you cannot move in the level. So you cannot escape that initial grab of that zombie woman that is grabbing you. And you feel behind your chest this when she's grabbing you. It got me. Okay. Then the game starts. Okay, the zombies are a little bit scary. They are well made. They really look... but zombies are no issues. You give them headshots and stuff, and that works. So, but after a while, you reach a part where the zombies are all gone, and then the train you have left is suddenly getting some power again, and it leaves. And it leaves to the left, and behind that was another train, and it leaves to the right. And behind that, you see a big spider nest, and the spiders are crawling away. And that was the moment where I was about to die, because it's not like that I hate spiders. I can't cope with them in real life.
Oh, but I can't know.
Well, it kind of works. I'm not really friends with them, but if I have like a glass, I can put it over them and take them outside. That does work. But in VR, so the first time I played this and the spiders were coming, I just wanted to quit the game. I was trying to cover my eyes, but it didn't work in VR because you have your headset in front of it. You might try to close your eyes, but you know how it is. It doesn't work. You have your eyes open, you have your hands in front of your head, but you still see the spiders coming.
No. Okay. No, I follow one hard and fast rule when it comes to spiders. One must stay 250 feet away from any spider at all times. Now, you might sit there and say, oh, I'm sure there's a spider within 200. Yeah, I don't know or see it. See, it's when you know or see that there's one there that you have to deal with it. If you don't know that there's a spider there, there's a spider web in my closet somewhere up in the corner, that's fine. I never know or care about it. But if I know there's a spider web in there, then 250 feet distance between me and the spider at all times. No.
So, yeah, at that point, I stopped playing the game. But like a few days later, I was like, okay, I know now what's coming, so I can deal with this. All right, we played it again. The initial grab wasn't getting me that hard anymore. It still got me a little bit because it's like if something's reaching out to you and you cannot escape, it's weird. Yeah, we got to the spider part. Yeah.
Can you imagine wearing a like a shockwave suit and feeling a spider crawl on you? Game over. I'd pass out. I'm done.
It just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. No.
So
you would see me come out of that suit so damn fast. You have never seen a human strip naked that fast.
So the thing is, I thought I could deal with this now because the big spiders, I know they were coming, and I know there were some small spiders as well. What I didn't know was when you were not able to get them, to shoot them. And I saw that where my mate was next to me playing it, and he wasn't able to get all of them. I was apparently able to get all of them because it didn't happen to me, but then I saw him where a spider was crawling up into his face, and he was using his arms to get it away. And I was like, no, why is that happening? Why? No. Oh, man, it was, the Propagation VR is is a really tough horror game. If you are not into zombies and not into spiders, do not play this. Otherwise, it's a cool game. Cool graphics.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's by the same studio that did Ragnarok, right?
Right. Yes. They are doing Ragnarok.
Ah, yes.
Now. Exactly.
Yep, you're right. Yep. Wanted Dev or something like that. I can't remember.
That's them. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, that has been my games in VR, and I could tell you I enjoyed it in the end. I did enjoy it, but yeah, that was really, really tough. Okay,
braver man than I am.
Oh well, it is also fun. It's kind of fun to watch. I think there have been some clips. Right on. So. I think we just recapped our games and we can move on to the FeVR community news, because Live is showing that already on his streams again and again. The new alpha of Streamer.bot. Streamer.bot 0.1.8 is about to finalize in the near future, I guess. And it will have some new features. So if you don't know what Streamer.bot is, it's a full-fledged bot for streamers where you have like everything. You can have, or you have all the streaming tools integrations like OBS and Streamlabs Studio, I think it's called now. Not Streamlabs OBS anymore. They changed the
Streamlabs
name.
Desktop.
It's called Streamlabs Desktop now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It has connections to the Steam Deck. To what are the other decks? There's another deck. Oh, that called again?
So yeah, you got Loop Deck, you've got Deck Board app, and you have the Touch Portal app as well as Steam Deck. Yeah. Stream Deck.
You will get in the future an integration to YouTube. It does have, of course, an integration to Twitch already. YouTube is in the works, and we are testing that already. Crane was busy and he integrated with Streamer. I think it's working also with the current version already, but he was integrating MQTT, it's called, and I think that's the Internet of Things stuff, the home automation stuff where you can remote control stuff from Streamer.bot. That's inside. So there's a lot of stuff coming now, and it's highly recommended to use that bot, because it can replace most of the other stuff. It depends, of course, a little bit if the transition is easy, if you're using a different bot already, but it's probably possible. And if there's something missing, functionality-wise, we have a website up where you can do suggestions. And that is, let me get that real quick. Do you know it by heart?
Ideas.streamer.bot.
Ideas.streamer.bot, right? And if you cannot wait, and if you are capable, you can totally extend Streamer.bot with C# code on your own. And you can integrate all the stuff by programming what's missing on your own or with help of the community. There are already many scripts available. So we have, for example, also done by Crane, an integration to the Live Streamer Kit. We have an integration with the Song Request Manager in Beat Saber. There's an integration for many things. And if there's something missing, maybe somebody has done it already. There is a loyalty point system available from VR Flat. And those people are also creating videos on YouTube with tutorials about Streamer.bot, how to integrate those new things. And it's all done by our own FeVR community member, Nate the Great. So if you if you are going to streamer.bot, the website, you find all the connections, all the infos. And if you like to support what Nate is doing, there are also ways to support him. And yeah, the new version is about to be released in the near future. So that's what's about FeVR community news. And as said, Lifesaver on his channel is showing mostly the new updates as they release, and is testing them and showing them what's possible.
Some of the other things, real quick, for those that's coming with the next version, of course, is remote decks. Right now, currently, you can go to the website and use a deck. You can create an HTML deck, which can be launched on a web page, or docked inside a OBS instance. But now you'll be able to, in 1.8, control those decks from any device, whether you have a tablet somewhere, because there's now a secure connection between the bot and the bot's website. That will also extend the functionality of creating a deck for your mods, and your mods will be able to have a deck that they can open on their tablets at home and control your stream. Another thing that you're able to do with remote decks that some people are looking at is extending their little game shows that they've created for their stream with buzzer buttons for each of the contestants and things like that. So that's a really, really strong feature coming with the next version. But then there's tons of other integrations. We have Polypop, Hype Rate, Pulsoid, a better integration within Stream Elements, which makes it a little more secure and a little more stable, as well as we're currently looking at Trovo. It's not going to be in 1.8, but that platform could be forthcoming. But yeah, like I said, those are the main. And Tippy and Treat Stream also are in the newest alpha that just dropped last night that we'll be looking at throughout the days, these upcoming days. But yes, it is soon to be released. We don't have an official date yet, that public date yet, but we do have some internal dates that Nate is trying to hit, and I can say that those dates are soon. Really soon. So
yeah, you can look forward to that. Keep an eye open. Keep your eyes open for the new release, but you can get it already now, and it works pretty well. And it works even on Linux.
Yep.
Thanks to Nate, who updated it, so it does work. Thanks a lot, because... Yeah?
So I was going to say, technically it works in Mac, too, for those who might be listening like Mac, but you just need parallels.
Oh, well. Better than nothing. Yeah, right on. So that's from FeVR community that we have noted on the show notes doc. And there's one thing we can talk about, or two things regarding VR gaming news. And we have talked about that just before, how we all like spiders and spiders in VR. And there's something from the from a university. What's that university again? I did look it up. Did I not mark it there? Either way, they have an array that you can attach to your VR headset on the lower end, and it can induce mouth haptics with an ultrasound phased array and make you feel things on your lips, in your face. And of course, what they use this for is you can feel now spiders crawling over your face in VR. What the hell? Why spiders?
Yeah, well, why? I mean, can I not have, I don't know, it's off the top of my head, Selma Hayek, just doing this to my face. This would be much better, if I have Selma Hayek doing this,
I don't know why spiders, but okay.
Spiders
You would smack your headset off if you tried to.
Oh man, I'd beat myself up.
Cut this out.
I'd beat myself up so bad.
But it's a thing. People are working. I hope they are not using that really for spiders, but maybe other things. I mean, like romantic stuff, for example. Like Life said, maybe some embracement or so. Who knows? I mean, with the haptic suit, which we have been talking about already before in a previous episode. You get more and more immersed, and it is part of being immersed into VR. So it's not a bad thing, but how developers will use it, that will show if that will survive or not. Because I can't believe that people will enjoy feeling spiders crawling over the face.
Right. Just we all know what everything gets used for initially, and there's. We all know where it's going to go without having to say it. So,
oh yeah. I mean, that's a big market.
You can be classy. You can be classy and mention the pornography market without getting detailed. But yes, pornography is a huge going to be a huge explosion in VR in that route. It already has been, but it's going to be more.
If that's about to take off, it will totally shape the future of VR. I mean, we have seen how that industry is shaping the directions where the industry is going. It has happened with Betamax and VHS. And it will happen with other stuff as well if they pick it up. At the moment, I don't think it's already there, but there will for sure be a market for that, and people will want to earn money with it. So, yeah.
Oh, no. The pornography market is a huge market that, when done right, can be a good thing.
Damn, and I'm trying to be PG, guys. Come on.
We are not going into details.
PG-13 is what you want to hit there. PG-13.
We're not going into details. We just mentioned this, and that's all. Yeah, so that is one thing that we've seen recently coming up. And there has been a Kickstarter campaign about something new. It's I think it's called an AR glasses, and which could AR XR glasses, which are like little screens inside of your glasses where they can simulate a big area, and it should like be able to kind of be additionally used to VR. I don't know if it could replace VR, but it should be like, if you are in a hotel room or wherever in a train, that you can see a big screen in front of you without having a big screen in front of you, just having your glasses on and play games. And that's called the Viture One, game and stream everywhere, anytime. It's closed on Kickstarter. It finished, and from what I've heard, Live will get one.
Yeah, I backed one. I'll admit that the concept is nice, and these particular glasses don't do true AR. Because, to be quite honest with you, AR and these type of glasses, they're not quite there yet. It's a technology that you can talk to Crane about. He's had some experience with them, and I've talked to a few others, where the technology just isn't quite there for the AR experience. But as a large screen, just in and of itself, a pair of glasses where you can now looking at 120-inch screen in front of you, that in its own right has value for me. But yeah, so the true AR capabilities for this is not there, just so we're clear.
Yeah, and there's a new one. I mean, they have to be these steps in between for the technology to mature, and there have to be people that try it out to give feedback so it can improve. So as Live said, probably it's not there yet, but those are the first steps. And maybe in the near future, we will have like contact lenses or so that we put in, and we don't even need glasses anymore. Who knows? Who knows where the future will go? Have you seen any of those, Falcon?
The AR glasses? I have not. I've seen quite a lot that's happening. I know there's a few shows out at the moment. I know Niantic is doing quite a push. I'm seeing a lot of stuff about AR on the socials, but it's, to be honest, someone that's really interested in virtual reality and everything. I have not even played with AR stuff on my phone filters. Oh,
same here.
True.
Same here.
I've put on a different, hairstyle or some other things, but
those filters,
I really haven't spent
the TikTok and Snapchat filters or whatever they're called.
Thank you. Good night.
Right on.
That's my dad just heading off to bed. I got a snack. There he goes. Bye, Dad.
So, I mean, it's interesting to see that coming up, because we have had now the big headsets, of course, and they are not portable, really. They are portable within your space, of course. And if you have an Oculus that is standalone, yes, that is kind of portable, but it's not something you would carry with you all the time. But if you have these kinds of glasses and can do stuff with that, I mean, if you're I'm wearing glasses, and if I could switch that with a press of the button or whatever to change what I see on this, it wouldn't change. It would probably integrate into my life, I guess, because I'm wearing the glasses anyways.
Right.
And probably that's where they're going to go. At the moment, they are, of course, a little bit clunky. You have to change them because they're specially made for that. But maybe in the future, we just have normal glasses and can have those things in our normal glasses already. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the nanotech is pretty impressive, and it's going beyond what I could imagine. And it's a bit of an unexpected shout out, but I don't know if you guys have seen or follow what Six is doing at the moment, as in CIX, with AR esports type of thing they have started. And if it's not something you've seen, it's very interesting. It's all in alpha, is just starting up. And for those that don't know who Six is, he's one of the co-founders of Live, mixed reality software. So that's the Six that I'm referring to. And he's a very interesting person to follow as well. He's got very strong opinions about a lot of things, but right now he's doing something, and I think, if I'm not wrong, it's called REK, REK. He's doing something with AR where you can actually basically 1v1 someone with spells, throwing fireballs at each other, and you have to actually move around. And I think it's on the HoloLens. I think that's what the device is called that you got to wear. So talking about AR just came to my brains. I thought I'd throw that out. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think the Microsoft HoloLens, I haven't seen much of it recently, and apparently it's not available to consumers, right? It's only available to businesses and for developers, but you cannot buy one and have applications on it. It's I don't know where it's really used. I think it's used for some modeling stuff in bigger companies or so. But that's all what I've seen.
Secondhand. You can't even buy them used. They're locked to the individuals that they're sold to. You're not allowed to resell them.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, I just saw
AR stuff. Yeah, there's it's all starting to come to me as we talk about it. Is if you haven't, that is probably the one. Yes, rec.tv, and they did a thing recently. There's a house started by a bunch of really clever people. AR House LA. It's another. It's a group of. I'm just going to say really smart people that are in the AR side of things. They create a lot of amazing things. Lucas is the person that I think started the project, where they come together at this house in LA and create projects all in AR or around AR.
Cool.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Okay, I see that we have another Kickstarter project on the list. Did you put that in live?
Yeah, I did. I'm currently backing that one as well. It's not something that I don't think I'm going to stick through with this one, simply because of the cost and space requirements. But I am the second backer to have backed it currently. Basically, it is a new way of the chair. It's a VR chair that has a foot platform you set your feet on, and you can literally sit back and relax in your chair and move your feet in ways that will move you throughout the VR space. It's called Sit Walk. It's very interesting, and I like the concept, but again, like I said, I don't think I'm actually going to follow through with my backing on this one. I might.
Is that a take on the cyber shoes?
No, it's like I said, it's an actual chair with a little platform that you set your feet on, like a footrest almost, that you set your feet on, and it mimics what your feet do while you're sitting there.
Hey, I just watched the video there, which is shortly the animated image, and they're showing Pistol Whip. And I'm like, excuse me, this is not how you play Pistol Whip.
You don't sit down in a chair and play Pistol Whip.
You don't sit and play Pistol Whip. Excuse me, that's not how it works. That's an interesting showcase for Pistol Whip.
Yep. Okay. Like I said, there are other things out there. Your other cat VRs and YAWs and things like that. I think everybody, when it comes to locomotion in VR, is going to have their own preference. Yeah. I do believe that something is going to probably dominate most than others eventually at some point. But I think ultimately there are going to be people who like, no, I prefer to sit down and move my feet, or I prefer the cyber shoes, or I prefer I can't do anything in motion without a treadmill or whatever, So options are nice. Whether or not this is a little too niche or a little too crazy,
Absolutely.
who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And they're all good for different things. Like I personally would never use a cat VR system after using one for a bit. It's not just tiring, but it actually feels like it's not natural movement.
Right.
It's and you have to learn the way that you need. And then, like you guys know, VR is already tiring enough. And then
It can be, yeah.
actually having to run around. But
Yeah.
if you know someone that has it, or if you have an arcade nearby that has it, go try it out. Like it is an experience that needs to be had. And I had a lot of fun for the 20 minutes or something I used one. And I got to say, there's something that did interest me with the recent cat system was you could not levitate. What's the word? You can hang yourself, like not
Zipline.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that kind of hang yourself, guys. Yeah.
Literally, you got the belt on, so you can actually drop down and you can
suspend yourself.
Suspend. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lifesaver. Thank you. You can suspend yourself and actually do the whole swimming thing on a cat system.
Oh,
yeah, that was on one of their ad thingies that I saw. But it's and surprisingly, they don't take a lot of space. Like if you already make space for VR, you have space for a cat VR as well.
True. True, because it's a stationary, it confines you to that one spot. Absolutely. I just, like you said, when I go to play VR, if I want to exercise, I'm going to do music rhythm VR. I can't see myself wanting to play something like Pavlov or something and run everywhere I want to go. I want to focus more on the shooting and hiding and things like that rather than running and jumping. That's not the VR experience that I want.
I can relate to that with After the Fall, which I played, which if I would have to run there, it was already tiring. We played that for 3 hours straight. And 3 hours, even if it's not a VR rhythm game where you're doing an exercise, just standing, that's already exhausting as well. After that, my clothes have been sweaty, the VR headset has been sweaty, and I didn't even work out. So yes, even standing for 3 hours and moving just a little bit, of course, you're dodging and whatever. And the tension of the game, because it is exhausting and it is interesting to play and all this stuff. So that has an effect on your body already. And then,
Imagine how you can sit there and stand in like Beat Saber for 5-6 hours straight and play Beat Saber and not get that same level of tiring of standing there trying to shoot something or whatever it is for 3 hours. It's a completely different. What were you going to say, Falcon? I kept stepping over you. I apologize.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say another thing to really try if you haven't. And I know some places can be pricey, but we have one here called Zero Latency, which is an open warehouse, open space, free space. Like I don't know what to call it, but like you can walk everywhere. They have their own games usually. And I know Space Pirate Trainer has a mode you can use in an open space. Now that 20 minutes of that, you actually running around in a warehouse doing
like laser tag and stuff.
Exactly, it's just like laser tag. You're in 20 minutes. You're wet. The headset, the backpack, and all the things. Like all these devices. It is really important what you use them for. Like, there's no way you're going to hook yourself up and play anything that actually is exercise. You're going to destroy yourself. You're going to destroy the machinery. We all know it's all going to get nasty. Even with that's why I haven't bought myself one of the haptic suits yet, because from my experience, I have one of those. I have a sub pack, which is a lot of people know them as the Woohoo device. And then they do the music thing. You put the audio through it. I love feeling the music through and the audio through my sub pack, but after about half an hour wearing it, the poor thing is, collecting all your zest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all your funk. Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it.
Yeah, you have. I mean, the devices. I think in the meantime, the hardware developers know that we are using those devices and gets ready with it. I think the very first items might not have been that sweat resistance, but in the meantime, I think they know. And even though you're not doing anything rhythm VR exercise wise, you're still sweating into the stuff, and having extra protection that helps. And if the devices are made with, yes, people are sweating in mind, that will help as well. And I think in the meantime, when we had a talk with the Shockwave developers, they were telling us that the clothes they made the stuff out of is especially made for being able to sweat inside the suit. So it doesn't matter if you're sweating. You can wash it. You can sweat through it. It's not collecting all the wet stuff. So in the meantime, I think people or developers know that. And we know how that's used, yeah.
Does it absorb? Or does it not absorb? What happens to the sweat now?
Okay, so this is the suit right here. Excuse me, I set it down in a very dusty place. But this is the suit right here. And there is hardware inside it. And the hardware is completely 100% sweat and almost pretty much submergible proof. You can submerge this in a tub or something. As long as the plug right here doesn't get submerged, then you're going to be pretty much okay. But the fabric itself is not absorbent at all. Of course, it will absorb some, but it's more like of a rayon. I think what's the name of can't think of the name of the fabric material. But it's a synthetic blend that I think is going to repel more than absorb. But you can take this off, this part, just the skin part, not the hardware. Take this part off and throw it in the washing machine.
Cool. That is really handy.
Yeah.
But clearly, there are people that are thinking about what happens after more than 10 minutes of playing VR games.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so that has been the VR gaming news part that we have put on the show notes. And I think we can go now full into all things Falcon.
Hi.
So let's start with because I got you to know back then playing Beat Saber. And that has been quite a while ago. When was that? When did I discover you? I think it was even through Mohiro, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Mobeardo, my friend. Yeah, look, it's been a long time.
Long time. And I remember that you were introducing yourself with, "Hey, I'm Falcon." And you can just greet me with HeyFalcon. And that's why I've chosen my nickname, HeyFalcon, so you don't have to add the hey anymore, because that's already in my nickname.
I thought it was clever. It was a positive vibe. Like, you don't, hey, Falcon, it just sort of there.
Right.
It turned into how many heys can you add in front of my name before you say my name? It was all about just, hey, Falcon. Every time I go somewhere, it's like, oh, yeah, hey, Falcon. I'm like, oh, I did not see that coming. But man, it's been June 2018 when I got into VR. Picked up, just as everybody else does. And back then there wasn't anything else to choose really in the catalog of games. So Beat Saber started off, and what really blew everything up was actually, we talk about it a lot, but Live. When mixed reality got into the whole thing. I remember that to be either October or November of 2018.
November, I think. Yeah, November.
Stalker.
I was just agreeing. It was November. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Geez, that's a long time ago. But yeah, it's been exciting. Like I've put my share of hours, probably still more than most, and I tell you, I feel it. I can't go back to playing Beat Saber now. After 4 years, I've racked over 1,300 hours in that game. I there are certain parts of me that really scream when I try to play it again.
Wow. Okay. I never thought that you can like overplay Beat Saber, that you really will have enough with from it, because I mean it took off. The one thing that made Beat Saber take off was, of course, the mixed reality view on streams. That was just awesome. It was like, hey,
everybody away.
When people were seeing that, everybody was like, hey, how is this possible? What kind of voodoo magic is this? How does this work? And in the meantime, though, we got used to it a little bit, and we kind of expect it often even.
It is definitely expected.
And the issue is, though, I think not every game is suitable for mixed reality. So I still think, for example, it's very tricky to play something like Half-Life Alyx in mixed reality, because if the camera, if you don't have a complete green screen room and a movable camera that is always like third person wise behind you, when you are turning around facing the camera, you don't see what's happening in the game because the action is in front of you, and you as the person who is demonstrating that will always have to have in mind, oh no, I have to turn around again so the people can see what I see. And this is
even then
tricky.
You still need two people. You still need a cameraman. And these games, as we know, there's only a handful of people. It started up with Splitverse doing this in their massive warehouse with multiple setups of cameras and gear. And we all know, and those that don't know, Kluge VR, we started doing a lot of videos with him. And without having a setup where you've got a tracked camera and then a second person, and not a giant, but a big enough space to cover these, mixed reality did become difficult, and it's going to get more difficult as the time goes on, because the Quest, the standalone systems are dominating the industry, and nobody is pushing for a Steam build as such. So we're more trying to get, I guess, begging devs to have a spectator cam, which makes the games look really nice from a spectator view, because that's what Live did. You know, the mixed reality really, really showcased the game at a level that you just can't in any other way.
Right. Having a good spectator cam is really important for being able to show those games. And I think Liv is, last time we talked with Rue, they were talking about like a smooth cam thing for VR.
That's right. That's been pushed live as far as I know. You've got a steady cam.
Steady cam, right. Because what's putting off people a little bit is that shaky view from the VR headset. Especially if you're capturing the game's view, which is even like zoomed in a little bit because it's mostly just one eye. And if you want to have that even as 16 by 9 aspect ratio, then they cut it even more down. So you're zoomed in a lot, and then the little shakes are becoming big shakes, and that's really... It's not that enjoyable to watch because it's shaking a lot. So my workaround for that is using the Steam VR mirror view with both eyes. So you have a higher field of view, and the shakes are not that heavy. They're still there. And I have to check out the Steadicam now if that even works for me. But if developers would have that in the game already, so it depends, of course, where is the work coming from? Will it be something that, for example, Unreal Engine or Unity Engine can provide for their VR stuff? Because they can totally have those spectator cams already from within the engine. You can just add another view to the game.
That's right. It's all about the teams that are working behind the games. It's surprising, but when you start looking at studios and who actually runs them, some of these are just solo devs, and they try to do everything they can. And if they have to hire anybody else, it has to be like, it might be out of their knowledge base of what they can do. And if they need to hire someone, they need to first release the game and to have the money to, hire someone to be able to add these features. Of course, as long as they have these in their roadmaps and say, hey, we're looking for it. But, it's then you got some studios with 50 people or more. So it's depending on who's releasing the game, it's
right.
That's why some lack the features, some don't, and some come out really early, and it's nice when they come out early access, but I know that's really difficult in the Quest store, for example. And if you get into App Lab, then you're kind of stuck there. there's so much going on in the background, and this is something I've been learning a lot in the last. I'm going to be able to say almost a year soon. You know, it's this burb has been learning a lot in the last since September. I can't count right now. That last whiskey actually started to get me a little.
Cheers.
But yeah, and if I go off topic, just say, hey, burb, slow down.
Oh, good. It's interesting to hear those things. So yeah, go ahead.
But yes, where were we?
Small developers creating all the stuff, mostly having solo devs and then lacking features,
yeah, we were talking
which is
about
understandable.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
So I guess live.
I was just gonna say, who, in case things are changed or I'm gonna be a little cryptic here, but what game team are you currently working with? You were with Yer for a while. Who are you with now?
Oh, if we go down the line of what's been happening, and of course for those that don't know where I've been, what I've been doing, you know, it all started a long time ago.
Yeah, it started with Beat Saber, and that's how I got the burp to know, playing non-stop Beat Saber every time. When I was able to watch Twitch, the burp was on playing Beat Saber, and he was playing it actually pretty good. I think you have been top 500 even.
Yeah, 364.
That's amazing.
That was a long time ago, and there's no way I could do that again. I tried, threw my shoulder out, and then that was it. There was just no more. Now we just play for fun when they release a new pack. But you know, I played for a long time. I got to do lots of promo stuff while I was streaming and creating content, which is, you know, yay. I was definitely more a streamer than a content creator. You know, I started up with Beat Saber. I actually have, I think, 5 or 6 tracks on the Beat Saber official YouTube that was recorded and added by me, which is, you know, it was really exciting. That's how it all kind of started. Beat Saber put me up, and yes, by HeyFalcon. It just still says it there. I go back and check to make sure they're still there and they don't remove them.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh gosh, yeah, I remember you playing one map and failing shortly before the end, I think, and you were like, "No!" and your headset flew off. You remember that one?
I remember it very well. It was Freedom Dive, and or it was actually OSU Memories, one of those two. And yeah, by accident, I threw my headset so far. It did end up being, I think it's still my highest viewed clip.
Yeah, the shock that this device is now broken. But it survived.
It still works.
It survived, right? It had like 0 damage, or did it have at least like some
It didn't have damage at the time, but the headphones stopped working not long after.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, those were some good days, and like the amount of stuff I was doing, my story was getting out. Like I had lost some like 32 kilos playing Beat Saber and a few other things at the time. And it was over a long period, like 14 or 16 months, because I was playing 6-7 hours almost every day. And then working a job where I required 20,000-30,000 steps. You know, I was walking a lot. I was working. I was streaming, doing all the family things. There was a lot of energy in me for some reason at that time. I just kept on moving. You know, that led to a job with Your Fitness, which is Why You Are. The tagline changed quite a bit with that. Why You Are Here was the thing. It's a fitness tracker, which worked at the time on all the devices. You could track your all your fitness, you know, your squats, your calories, what you played, what songs you played in VR. And I was a community manager for them for a while, which also entailed into like group fitness on a 3 to 5 days a week. I was running sessions for up to 20, 25 people at a time. It was a time when VR was really, really grasping the stay home workouts, which train of thought, come back to me. But yeah, so that's where like it could have gone much bigger places if we had more people kind of seeing what was happening, and more funding from the appropriate places to make it a bigger thing than it was. So with your, like, your was a small team, and they had a lot of roadblocks, unfortunately, which I won't get into today because there's a lot that had happened that I don't want to bore a lot of people with. But for those
sorry to interrupt you real quick here, but real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. But wasn't Six also one of the creators of your?
Yes, okay, that's right.
So,
I think that's where I know him from, right?
Yep, that's right. So Six started up Your with Dylan. They worked together for quite a while, and then Six went on to other things from there. But yeah, for those that had used Your originally and know what it is, will know the story and why it's no longer on a certain device that everybody uses these days. But on a positive note, Your is now actually an app on your phone. You can grab it. You can track your VR fitness on. You can still use it on any device, as per se, but it's just with an extra step. And you can do all your non VR workouts. It is a great way to kind of include your gaming fitness and your like home or whatever kind of fitness you do. There's a little shout out to Your. I worked there for I don't know how long, but I was there for a while. From a friend of ours named Carice. She got me in with Six actually at the time, and that's where it all started. And I can't even tell you if it was I think it was 2019 to 2021, about a 2-year time I was in there. And when I was still working there, and that actually was how I probably got my foot in the door for the industry in a larger scale, where I was working for Your and seeing the success of those events. Synth Riders, the studio is Kluge Interactive, KLUGE. They saw something in there on what we were doing, and when Your stopped doing those sessions, we headed over to doing just Synth Riders on a weekly basis. Every Saturday, we still run them. July 12 or 16, we started. So it's coming up to 2 years now. Every weekend, 2 sessions, Saturday and Sunday. We get in there, and we've got some amazing hosts. One of them is in chat right now with us. They come together, and we have up to about 150 people, I think, every Saturday, every Sunday morning. We sometimes run out of hosts. Sometimes we run out of people, but it's a ever growing event, and that fruitioned into what I do now. So September last year, there's something really unexpected happened. Actually, I was, with COVID, I was kind of stuck in this loop of not having a job for a while because they closed the airport that I was working at due to not needing an airport when everything's closed down. So for those that know me, I was on every day, every hour of whenever I can, just full-time streaming VR games. And when I couldn't lift my arms, we'd sit down and do other things. But on September, something unexpected happened, and I still can't believe it, actually, just to this date of what it means to me and how it all happened. So Synth Riders, so Kluge Interactive, we had a chat, we had a bit of an interview with the game growing and the studio doing many things as they do. They wanted to know if I would be interested in a job, and if it's something that I was interested in looking at in the future? I'm like, yes. I was, not, it wasn't 100% unexpected because I was at the door pretty regularly. Like, what else can I do? I've been doing these sessions every weekend, and I'm getting into their socials. I'm doing some stuff on the side, and I'm like, I was always there persistently, not begging, but I was there. And I got into an assistant kind of job in marketing with the Synth Riders team, and for those that know the people that's kind of doing the same thing, it's pretty exciting to see it happening with many others in the industry getting into these amazing job placements in VR or XR or AR. It's just opening up so many opportunities, and for me, it opened up this opportunity that I thought I'd never have, and I got into working with Synth Riders in marketing, learning so much about the industry on a different from a different perspective altogether. And I had a really good mentor. So our marketing manager at the time, Powell, he was a really good teacher. Like, I learned so much in my first 3 weeks, and I had to, because we had the Muse music pack releasing basically when I started. So jumped right into the deep end and learned how to do the storefronts and the marketing and all the things that, it's just so many lists of things, and some of it wasn't fun. Spreadsheets are not fun.
Oh, well.
But just the analyzing the data and press releases and writing copies for things, they're all within 3 weeks. I think we crammed in 3 years of study.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was a fantastic opportunity, which just blew up even more after March, when Powell decided to take a different approach to his career. And since March, I've been the marketing manager for Synth Riders, working under Kluge. So that's where I'm at for the last few months. And those that have seen the latest release with the Lindsey Sterling music pack, that was the team did such an amazing work. From the design to the mapping to working with Lindsey Sterling herself to do the trailer, which I sat through in a Zoom call. Like,
wow,
I can't even explain to you. Like, I was just at my desk, just in excitement. It's an artist that I really enjoy the music of, and I've been waiting for them to come to Australia for a few years. But just getting a headset in 2018 to where I am now, it's been all that butt shaking has paid off. Let's be honest.
Okay, thank you. That is motivating me to continue with the butt shake and see where I will end up in the end. So that's a pretty good success story. That's amazing. But it has totally shifted from where you started, right? From starting playing games, now doing marketing. That's a completely different perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I've done, in the past, I've had my own business and I've studied business and IT, but I never thought I'd be in this position my whole life, ever. So just being in this position and organizing releases and products and stuff that I can't talk about, and it's just, and you guys will probably hear all about it before anybody else. So hope you guys, watch this space, because there is a lot happening. There's no stopping. And even though, if you don't know, Synth Riders has been around for coming up 4 years. 12th of July will be 4-year anniversary for Synth Riders. For a game that's been around that long, and as Beat Saber, I think, beat Synth Riders by 2 months. They just had their 4-year anniversary as well. So we're I believe Synth Riders is staying very, very relevant amongst many games that have come and gone in this time. Shake my money maker. Damn right.
Yep.
Shake them. Yeah, okay. Understood.
Hey, I didn't do it for the money, okay?
Not initially. That's pretty awesome. I mean, there have been some games that have totally shaped the VR first days, and it's amazing that they are still around, because I can totally see how some games are getting, well, maybe still updated, but staying relevant. I mean, this is also what has been on the Steam Dev Days when they were happening a few years ago, where it was like, yeah, let the community create content for your game, make it moddable or open it up with mods. And I think most of the games that have done that, or that have the capability of doing that, and Synth Riders is one of them, that keeps them alive, even though from the initial concept, not much has changed. It's still a rhythm game. It's still you moving your body to...
you got your left and right and whatnot.
So the principle is still the same. There are some new additions, like the turning stuff with the spinning mode and the spinning world where you stand on and stuff. There have been some minor additions, but the initial shaping of the game the core has stayed the same, and that this is still compelling to people and still attracting more people into the VR space. That shows something has worked out pretty well from the beginning.
Yeah, and I'm so glad they were able to get out when they did, because now there's only so many ways to do a rhythm game, and I've seen so many rhythm games come and go because they really tried. So, and some of them really did look great, but you can't get away from what Audio Shield created back before Beat Saber. And anything since Audio Shield has just been a modified copy of that game. And I enjoy Beat Saber greatly. I don't play it as often because I have put in a lot of hours into it, and it goes down to, like I said, I've played it at a level, and that's what the kind of level that the competitive people are playing at. It's doing anything for that long, for that many days at that level, it's not healthy for you. I'll put it out there now. Doesn't matter which game. If you're getting into competition and you're on that, we're not even talking 1%. We're talking about the 0.01% of players that are playing harder than what Olympic players go through training to do. Like, people in VR forget what they're doing because there is a disconnect, and you push yourself further than you would usually, and that's where injuries happen. And I have to say, and I don't know if you've seen it, but insurance claims have gone up by apparently 31% that are VR related in the last year.
In the last year, that's probably also related to the pandemic, because people were staying at home and wanted to entertain themselves and wanted to do workouts. So they got into VR rhythm workouts, yeah.
Exactly.
And so far, I've been lucky. I had barely issues from playing too much VR, so barely wrist issues. My legs are still fine, even though I do some squats here and there. 1,000 in a row, that does work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, VR legs is a thing. If
never skip leg day
for the last few years. I don't go to the gym. I don't do leg workouts, and I've got some legs.
Yeah, I mean, VR rhythm games can do that. They can help with the training.
Yeah, and you look at
it was it's expected that then the insurance claims are about to rise because more people are using that. I would say that's normal. But nevertheless, you have to be careful, because for some people, they had to stop playing VR because the injuries weren't getting better, especially wrist injuries.
Yeah.
For some people, permanently damaged, and they are not allowed to play that anymore because it would immediately make it worse again.
That's right. And some of that falls back to, unfortunately, genetics. Some of it falls back to what they do as a day job. Your wrists, and in this day and age where we use keyboards in jobs, instead of, there's so much of the work is done on computers these days, carpal tunnel and all of those, and repetitive RSI, repetitive, RSI. Yeah, very common. Like for me, I have no problems with anything on my wrists or my elbows. For me, if you ever see me now playing, as soon as I pick up the sabers, as soon as I pick them up, my shoulders are here when I'm playing. And it's over time, your neck, your lats, your back, the longer you play, the kind of more tense you get. And you got to learn when to stop. And that's where like you were talking about modding and how the communities that create their own playlists and etc. Keep that gap filled and continue the interest in the game. Those people that make that content, they don't have to think about the like QA and what happens if somebody plays that 200 times. It's that's where like something I have learned is the amount of QA a song goes through before it is released to public, to make sure it is completely playable at a level that anyone can play it without hurting themselves. And like when you jump into Synth Riders and you jump into an easy map, you think this is just pointless if you have played at an expert level in any rhythm game. But when you come into, for example, like I said, the weekend events, right? I jump in and there are people that struggle to get past normal. Like they've played easy and now they've got the confidence to come in and play at the normal difficulty and are out of breath before hard level hits. So, there's definitely our expectations, we forget where we started as well. Like when you play games now in rhythm games, do you not go straight to the hardest level when you jump in?
Yeah.
Like it's straight. Yeah. So we forget, like when we started, we were trying to hit those.
Oh gosh, I remember that. I remember starting Beat Saber with my sister, and we were struggling beating hard mode. And today you warm up to what, expert at least, if not even expert plus, because your technique changed that much. But back then, especially, back then we also had the Vive wands and not the knuckles from the index, so it was a different way. But yeah, I remember that. And getting that done, it took like one song on hard, it took me all night, repeating it over and over until I finally beat it. Or I finally beaten it, and then I told my sister, and she was like, "You're crazy! I never can do that." And even today, she is like playing expert maps without issues.
Yeah. Those were some exciting days. You get a new person come to watch you play, and you're just playing expert because there was no expert plus back then either.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Expert has become too easy for a lot of people.
Yeah, and you play it, and they just can't believe it. It's just this amazing thing where you forget, like you're actually an athlete at that level. You don't realize it because it may be because you're just naturally gifted at that front, or not. But like you forget that what you're doing, or what I was doing at the time, is at such a high level that it's we take it for granted.
In the meantime, yes. So that's an interesting point that you mentioned, that the songs are going through so much QA. I kind of didn't realize that at all, because I was like, from what I've seen, I think Beat Saber has done it and Synth has done it. They have hired mappers from the community because they were already doing a good job. So I think they are more or less like already naturals in mapping, because I think when you become a mapper, of course you test your stuff, but there's only so much you can do on your own. Then you let people play it, then you might adjust it a little bit, but that's it. So how much more QA is that for the big companies releasing those maps? When I am playing a new... let me finish this real quick. When I'm playing those new maps, Beat Saber and Synth Riders, I can feel it, how well they are made, because they have a certain flow. They don't do like mean crossovers where you can smack your controllers. They make sure there is a flow. where you can follow the trails. There is nothing that's too mean. They're still testing your skills, so they're still tricky to beat in the end, especially on the higher levels, but they are doable. So how much, as you have now seen that on your own, but with working with synth riders and stuff, and you mentioned that, how much is it in particular? How much is it actually?
It's a lot. It's a lot. And like with us, synth riders, everything gets done in-house. And there is really one person that does the QA. And a lot of you already know who she is. She's been doing it for a very long time. And the amount of time, I can't put a time on how many hours they go through. And it's not just, the whole process for any of the music packs, you're looking at 8 to 12 weeks from starting the maps.
Yeah, okay.
To actually having the final product with every single difficulty mapped and tested.
And even with every single difficulty, I would say even 12 weeks isn't that long. I would have expected it to be longer even. Because getting the map out is already tricky, I guess.
Full time. Like that is like you hear people just smashing out maps in a day or two, but there's a way that, and I can't explain it fully because it's not where I am in the company as well. It's not my focuses. Just from what I can see, of course, like you say, it's not long, but like those are pretty full on labor hours. Like they're in like full time going at it. Like I said, all the difficulties, they all get tested, and then sometimes it doesn't work as expected. So you go back and go through. The choreography of all is like when you play. Now, I'm very biased because of where I am right now.
Yeah, sure.
But when I say, you guys also understand like how I play. You've seen me play both games for many, many hours. There's just so much freedom of movement, and the way synth riders can get you to move, it makes you move. You have to move. So you get to dance even though you have no idea what you're doing. And I'm using quotes, but but the thing is, you've seen me dance in Beat Saber too. There are maps out there that they have done really well, and a few of them I played recently from their latest packs. It's when they get it right, your body does what it should without you even thinking. It's hard, but for a lot of people, it is also really hard to move when you're playing Beat Saber compared to synth riders. But again, it at the end of the day, it depends on the person. Some can move in one, some can't move in the other. And when the argument begins, or let's call it a discussion begins over what game is what and what is better for what, play them all.
Right.
Variety is the spice of life.
Correct.
It's
for me it has crystallized down to like Beat Saber, Synth Riders, and Pistol Whip. So Beat Saber is the initial one. Synth Riders is you feel that your arms are getting tired from the slashing, and like following is a little bit more gentle to your arms. And if you want to have a workout, go with a leg workout, to go with Pistol Whip then. And then you have a full body workout. I mean, there are other games. There is like Groove Gunner, Audio Shield, Audio Chip, O-Shape. Yeah. Oh, I've tried O-Shape recently again. Gosh, I couldn't play it for more than 20 minutes. I was done after 20 minutes.
Yeah, people forget O-Shape it's an amazing game. I've got to say, out of all the games I've played, that one is the killer game for physical activity.
Because you have to like memorize the shapes, and then make your body, your brain has to, what it sees, it has to send to the body, and that's not working that easily all the times, because you have to recognize the shape first and then move your body into that shape, and it's kind of tricky. I think it's easier to play like Beat Saber. following a map, if that's a well done map, there is a flow into it because it's always up and down if it's done right. You always have to go in one and the other direction if it's done right. Okay, you have to alter your swing where you do it. But with O-shape, you have to see it before you can do it. There is no like, okay, I will have to move the one arm up and the next time I can be sure it will be higher. No, it can be completely different or whatever. So it's a different kind of exercise, totally. And I think it involves your brain a little bit more than the others.
Yeah, something that really clicks with, like Beat Saber really clicks for a lot of people is the lasers. If you love the stimulation of flashing lights, there is nothing else that will give you that satisfaction of all this happening all the time.
Who doesn't want to be a Jedi and play with lightsabers?
And of course, let's not forget about the lightsabers. It's they had a really great concept. They got it out there, and it's probably will never be forgotten. I'll be honest. Like you look at Dance Dance Revolution, like DDR is still that you'll still find one at an arcade in your town somewhere. It's not forgotten. It's always there. And I think Beat Saber down 20 years will be one of those games where you go to an arcade, it's like, hey, remember that back in the day?
Right. But Live, you wanted to say something before I interrupted you. Do you remember what it was?
No, you weren't interrupting me. I was almost interrupting you. You're fine. I don't think I remember. I really don't. It's okay.
It was about the QA stuff when I was joining it.
Well, I guess, yeah, I don't really remember what it was. But anyway, I'll say that whatever Whirl's doing, she needs to keep doing it. If it takes 3 months to crank these things out, then so be it. Because when you look at the stark reality of OST maps, as far as their playability and definitely replayability, between Synth Riders and Beat Saber, it's the OST maps in Beat Saber are pretty much unplayable in my opinion. They hire the same, like you said, they hire the same community mappers, but it's the QA people. Whatever Whirl's doing is good. I guess she's pretty much just saying, hey, as long as it's fun and I like it, whatever. But whatever the QA they have at Beat Saber is just killing the maps. I have tried every now and then. I try and play an OST map simply because I reinstalled the game and I don't have mods and custom songs, whatever. Or a new pack comes out and I want to try it. The enjoyment level has never been at the same. Whereas with Synth Riders, you don't know if you're playing an OST or a custom because they're all just that good, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's definitely what's the word to use? Like, I know what you mean about what happens to when they hire a community mapper and then it goes through the process of fitting into the game. It changes from how you would play, let's say, a Ruckus map, because I remember they did get Great Yazer and Ruckus and all those people that we remember from the OG days to come and map, but you wouldn't pick because, every mapper has their signature, right? Yeah. There's a reason why you pick their songs to play when you do get a chance. And it's tough. Like some of the packs have done some really great work in Beat Saber, and I've gone and played them and I've enjoyed them. But then when you come into Synth Riders, again, maybe biased here, working there and everything, it's the OST really feels as it was from the soul, from the hard work and love for the song itself from the mapper. Like it was you can feel it in the choreography. It listens, like when you listen to the song and play, it just fits all so well. And Synth Riders gets the beat right. We see Beat Saber has been trying for a very long time. I think 40 months was what they said. They came up with their arcs and the sliders that they added. it's very hard when you're cutting cubes to have a place where you follow a long note. And there's nothing that did it better than what the Rails do in Synth Riders. And that I saw the comments that they was, going against Beat Saber, going, why did you add these? It's actually not the worst. Like, I played through the new pack with all the arcs and everything, and I've got to say there was some enjoyment. Personally, what I didn't like was, because the arcs are there, my mind and body kind of got stuck there. Like, the arcs are there, I'm following, waiting for the next notes. Usually, I would just do my own thing, or do something.
Yeah, they keep especially if it's a longer arc, they keep your arm up.
Yeah, I'm like.
And the thing is, though, which I didn't realize at first, I thought you have to follow the trail. But actually, you can do whatever you like with it. The trail is following your saber. But I didn't realize that in the beginning. For Synth Riders, it's the other way around. You have to follow the trail. If you don't follow the trail, you get less points or even fail or whatever. But the newly added arcs in Beat Saber, so for those who don't know that, there might be some out there who don't know what we are talking about. Beat Saber has added with a recent update that there are connections between one node to the other node of the same color, where you, I think, ought to follow this. It's like an arc with your saber. And I don't know if it does add any points or so. If you do it well, I don't think so. It's just
they can't adjust the scoring at this level. No, they'd have to redo everybody's scores.
Yeah, then it's like a neat addition, but an optical edition as well, and it keeps you a little bit in the flow because it tells you when to change it tells you when to change the direction of your saber. Because if it's done well, if you follow that arc, it helps you cutting the next note a little bit better, maybe, than if you would do it on your own. But that's a recent addition, yeah.
It definitely helps you see what's coming behind the notes, especially if there is a lot of stacked notes. You'll be able to, where that arc is, so you can hit the next note and then follow through to the next one. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know what else they could have done, and I think they picked a nice way to kind of add long notes into it, and it was noticeable. Like, I had fun playing their electronic mixtape they released in Rockefeller Skank. Yeah. I was there. It was fun. It was fun. I can't say it wasn't fun. I enjoyed it. And now wait for the next one.
Yeah, I also thought it was a neat addition. I heard also people being a little bit salty about, like, they took it from another game where it has been already in, and I was like, I can understand, but on the other hand, they are all adding stuff from other games in some kind. So somebody does something new, and if it works out well, why not have your own? Because when you do something new that the others haven't yet, they will take it from you as well. So it's like a give and take in all directions. I think that they all struggle, of course. I mean, VR games on PC are still a niche. We are here, of course, all VR nerds. We love VR. We play VR. We want to have more VR stuff, but to be honest, we are still a niche. There are not that many people playing PC VR, at least. I don't know how about Quest and stuff. I think there are more headsets in the meantime sold from the Quest line than they are from PC, because they are a little bit cheaper. They are easy to pick up. You don't have to have a PC to make them work. So but that's a completely different story now. It's a completely different market where, for example, I have no access to at all. And that's because of two reasons. The first reason is the Oculus stuff doesn't work on Linux, and not at least natively. But the other reason is Facebook has stopped selling the stuff in Germany. So that is completely off my radar now, because there is no advertisement here in Germany. And the only thing I get to hear is from you guys. So, yeah.
But one good piece of data that is it's public data and something that Will has actually mentioned has stuck with me very well. Every Quest user is a PC VR user in waiting, and if you look at the data, the amount of people using their Quest on Steam has been increasing exponentially, and people that are upgrading to a Valve Index, like that has blown up. Well, in its own way.
Oh, that's cool to hear.
In the last 6 months.
Oh, that's really cool to hear.
Is growing because all the people that you see jumping into jumping into VR with their Quest 2, they hit a wall because the things that they want to see in VR are only available if you have PC. And if you're in any of the Quest 2 communities, like both for work and personal reasons, like I'm in a lot of the Quest 2 communities myself, and it's endless amounts of posts about people buying gaming computers and what the best computer is or what laptop will run VR. It is growing rapidly. People are buying gaming PCs to be able to really, really immerse themselves in VR. And we know some games do VR very, very well on the Quest, but you cannot beat the fidelity you get out of PC VR with the gaming setup. You just there's no way.
Tracking wise, that's all. It's working well enough. It's working well enough with the Quest, but if you see or feel the difference, then okay, PC VR with the trackers is better. It's just better. I mean, the best example is playing Beat Saber and having your arms swinging behind the back, and then you realize already I could lose tracking.
Yep.
So that's all you need to know.
When I watch myself doing any kind of content with my Quest, my hands are always in front of me.
So the camera will always track it. Yeah.
Where when I'm using my, I still have my Vive Pro here. When I've got that, arms are back. I really don't care where this arm goes because the tracking is in the room. It knows exactly where the controller is at all times.
Yeah.
And even though I have to say the Quest 2 does an amazing job at guessing, and I don't know how they do it, okay? Because there comes a point where it shouldn't know, but you got your hand back here for about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds before it loses it. So hats off to the engineering team that's behind that, really.
I mean, they have most of the data. They have the acceleration. They have the direction it was coming from, and they had the position until a certain point. So
just over my head.
They can calculate it for a while, I guess. I mean, the error will increase over time, of course, because the data isn't that accurate than getting new data from the trackers all the time. So they can guess it for a while, but it will go off very quickly probably because the accuracy of those sensors inside aren't that good. But that's a really interesting piece of information that I didn't know about, that you say Quest users are using it on PC and they are upgrading to the Index. So from my opinion, I think still the best VR headset is the Valve Index that you can buy. It's usable for every game. You can play Beat Saber with it, but you can also play beautiful games like Half-Life Alyx with it, where there are other headsets like the Pimax 5K, 8K, where you have a bigger field of view.
Okay.
But I think playing really tricky or getting into the higher difficulty maps in like Beat Saber, where you have to move a lot, with a big headset, I think that doesn't really work well. So the best compromise, even though it's a little bit expensive, I think still is the Index. I don't know how you see it. I don't know if there is.
I used an Index one time, and it became available in Australia not that long ago, and it's usually sold out. We can't even really buy them here.
Looks like other people like it as well.
It's just done well. Like the Index, if it didn't cost as much as it did here as well, I probably would have picked one up. Like it went from, what was it, $999 USD? It went up to almost $2K, adding like 600 Australian dollars just for what, I don't know, taxes, blah, 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 blah.
Oof.
So it was just ridiculous. I mean, it didn't help. Like when you look at prices of things, it doesn't add up when you look at the HTC Cosmos Elite when that came out, which came with a 4-year-old technology and all, like it just
yeah. I think the other alternative you just have is the HTC Vive Pro, right? Or Pro 2. That's probably available in Australia.
I picked up a Pro out of sheer luck. Someone was selling it secondhand for Australian dollars to US. It was about 400 USD. I picked it up for.
That's a good price, I guess.
The Vive Pro and it was the upgraded Vive Pro with the better controllers and the Lighthouse 2.0. You know, those things alone are $250 each for the trackers. It's so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have picked up a HTC unit. But you know, I went over there and I was lucky enough on my birthday to get the Index controllers as well from friends in the community. It's and I had the wireless adapter for it as well, which I still have the adapter sitting on top of my monitor. It's like if you were to go retail, it's like 2 Index units. You know, when you go to a retail Vive Pro setup,
okay.
You can go crazy. You can go crazy with PCVR, and this is nothing. If you guys, you know, you already know the Vario, VARJO.
I heard about that. Yeah,
like the reviews I've seen on that headset blows everything you know out. But I think those things cost like $10,000 a piece. Don't quote me on that. I think they're close to that. They're a ridiculous price.
Yeah, it would be really neat to have also wireless stuff available to the Index, but at the moment only the Vive stuff has that, because wireless is really wireless and not being tethered anywhere. Because I need to find a segue to one last topic I want to bring up, because we are closing into the 2 hours. And I remember that the Burp said like, oh my gosh, are you guys doing 2 hours? That's way too long. And now we are hitting that mark already.
I can see how things get out of hand when you get someone talking.
But having things wireless and not being like bound to a place, because I want to have a segue to the Steam Deck once more. As I said at the beginning, we had where we talked about consoles and stuff. The Steam Deck is treated like a console, even though it's a PC. And I just want to talk about one last topic before we come to an end, I guess. Except Burp has still stuff to add for the VR space right now. So far, so good? Okay, then let me get to the Steam Deck and the console experience that it should deliver. So the Steam Deck, we have talked about that already. It's not really capable of doing VR. I mean, you can get it to run, and somebody has done it, even on Linux with ALVR, which you have to install extra, and then you can get a Quest running on Linux. And somebody did that on the Steam Deck, but the performance wasn't good. So yeah, they said it from the beginning. You are able to connect something like a VR headset to the device, but it's not designed to do VR. But maybe Valve will work on a standalone headset that will run VR on Linux, maybe even. We will see. There are some hints, but we will see. Nevertheless, I had a very interesting experience yesterday. Don't take that for the usual case. I have not heard about anybody else having that issue. It's only me. I'm the special snowflake here at the moment. But yesterday, I wanted to install real quick an update on my Steam Deck. There has been a new update out that is changing the fan curves. So it's not, the fan isn't starting up that early. So it's keeping a little bit quieter. They have tons of other optimizations. Yeah, and I hit check for updates. There was an update available, and I've heard that this is a bigger update, so it might take a little bit longer. And I hit apply, and normally it restarts after that. So I left the device alone, and it restarted after a while, and then I was greeted with a bootloader. And there was no operating system available anymore. So that, of course, should never happen on a console, because that is like totally killing the console experience. Normally, you pick up a console, you turn it on, you play your game. That's working for the Xbox, for the PlayStation. You don't, and they are installing updates themselves all the time as well. Nevertheless, the Steam Deck is also a PC, but Valve has kind of locked it down to a console experience with their big picture mode and stuff. Yeah, I was greeted then with a bootloader, and every entry I was choosing was just resulting in more errors, where it says, yeah, couldn't find this, couldn't find that. Something went horribly wrong. And I was like, yeah, frick, thanks. Is that happening to anybody else? I haven't heard about anybody else. Anybody else was like, yeah, great update, thanks for the update, cool new stuff, etc., etc. So what shall you do? I mean, I didn't want to send that in. Hey, I am a Linux user. I should be able to repair a non-bootable Linux device. But hey, let's do it the Valve way. So before I get my USB stick to boot from the device, let's see what help page they have up and how to fix that. How are they offering that to the customer? Because as I said, it's a kind of a console. It should not happen, but things can go wrong. And the quality of a company shows how they handle those errors if they occur, even though they shouldn't. And I think Valve does it pretty well. So they have a help page up where they say, if you have any issues, you can download this image, boot from a USB device, and it's done by holding the volume down button and press power. When you hear the startup chime, you can release the buttons, and then you will be greeted with a menu where you can choose to load that image. And it's really easy than that. Recovering that device, the most time I've spent was realizing they need, like they suggested, an 8 gigabyte stick. I was downloading the image. The image was 2 gigabytes, and I was like, yeah, 4 gigabytes should be enough. Okay, I was trying to flash that. And after a while, it says, yeah, device ran out of space. And I was like, oh, okay, this was a 2 gigabyte even. Okay, that's too small. Okay, I have a 4 gigabyte. Let's use that one. After a while, it also said, yeah, it's not enough space on the device. And I was like, what? It's a 2 gigabyte image. Why does it take longer? Oh, it's a compressed image. Let's uncompress it. Oh, it's 8 gigabytes. Okay, I see. I need a bigger stick. And then the longest time it took me was to find a 8 gigabyte stick. In fact, we had a 16 gigabyte stick, but I wasn't able to find a bigger one than 4 gigabyte for a while. So that was the most time I spent on recovering that. After I was able to flash that, booted the device by holding that combination. It's really, you don't even have to wait long. Just press down, press start. It will do the startup sound release. This is in seconds. And if you have a USB hub and have your USB stick in, it will show you that stick. You click on that entry. I had my keyboard connected, so I need to check if that works with the gamepad controls as well, but I guess so. And then you have 4 options there. I don't remember all of them, but one is like completely do a factory reset and you lose everything, but it's like back to how it was delivered. The other option I can't remember. Then one option is reinstall the OS, but keep all your settings and games. And one is have a recovery terminal. So I went with reinstalling the OS. It took like a minute or so. The device booted, and I was done. It was repaired. So it's not that tricky. It shouldn't happen, of course, because it's one piece of hardware. It's all the same. Why should this go wrong? Something happened on my device. I don't know what. But yeah, that has been my experience with that device being a console and not being a console, being a PC as well. So yeah, that have been my last points I wanted to add to conclude this cast for today. And I want to say thank you very much, Lifesaver, for co-hosting today. And I want to say a lot of thank you to The Burp, who has joined us on this session. Thanks for telling us everything about from the story from Beat Saber to Synth Riders, from a gamer to a marketing guy. That was really interesting to hear. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, you can follow Lifesaver, of course, for all the streamer.bot informations and updates on twitch.tv/Lifesaver74. He's also on Twitter, the same username. You can follow, of course, The Burp, and he is known as HeyFalcon_. So don't forget the underscore.
I'm trying to get rid of the underscore, but the guy that has HeyFalcon won't respond. He blocked me. Can you imagine the audacity?
Oh man.
No.
That's mean. You need to become
Unbelievable.
partner on those platforms because then they will help you out.
I thought about adding VR to the end of HeyFalcon, but someone wise told me owned underscore. It's owned.
Oh yeah, we have the underscore gang. There are a few people having an underscore because their nicknames are taken. Yeah,
like there's so much to me than just VR, and I see a lot of people doing it, but it does really label you as just VR. You want to make sure that it's good to some aspects, but you got to be brand yourself correctly if it is what you're doing.
Correct. Yeah. So it's twitch.tv/HeyFalcon_, where the burp is still live from time to time. And I think that will stay in the future as well, depending on work.
I mean, I stick to, for socials, I stick to Instagram and Twitter a lot. Most of what I do on those two, it really just get amplified over TikTok and everything else. So if you look up HeyFalcon just about anywhere, you'll hopefully, without the space, you should find me. And I think I'm in just about every freaking Discord there is now. I don't know.
Yeah, FeVR also has a Discord. It's discord.gg/FeVR. Streamer.bot has a Discord. You can reach that from the website. I don't know if there's already a branded URL. Yeah. Is it discord.gg/streamer.bot?
There's that, and there's also discord.streamer.bot.
I see. Okay. Yeah, join all those channels. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next cast, and have a nice weekend. See you everybody. Next time.